What's going on? Welcome to another day mobility. Let's assume the position, lying flat on your back. Just take a few seconds to get nice and comfy. Let your mind clear of any ongoing stress. Find yourself in a nice calm state of mind. And a nice relaxing rhythm of your breath. And mentally go to your happy place. Today's routine, we're focused on the hips and the neck. We'll take a few targeted breaths on your next exhale. Imagine relaxing through the base of your skull, through your neck, through your traps, through your face, just letting everything go limp. On your next exhale, we'll focus around that midsection. Imagine getting nice and soft through the low back, through your hip flexors, through your glutes, through your quads. Just feel your hips sink heavy into your mat. Focusing on a nice, deep, diaphragmatic breath. And as you let go of that breath, just imagine letting go of any tension or stress. Let's take one more breath here. As you sigh out that breath, we'll take our attention to the left traps. So we'll focus on those lower mid traps today. So flat on your back with that lacrosse ball in around those traps. Just do some searching for what needs attention in around those traps on the left side. And once you found a good target area, experiment a little with how you're addressing that tension, your posture. You tend to struggle with an overhead position. Feel free to move your arms into an overhead and keep some motion. And keep varying things till you find a good stimulus that helps that tissue start to relax. And that might mean moving and rolling on that ball. It might mean changing your direction. It might mean just sitting right on top of it. And just relaxing statically on top of that ball. Just feel out what gives you the best response today. What allows those tissues to settle down and helps you dive into that tension and help prepare you for better movement. Let's take one more breath on this side. As we exhale that breath, we'll switch to the right side. Start by panning through that whole right trap. On top of that lacrosse ball, searching for whatever needs the most attention today. Try to avoid to go into your quote-unquote comfort zone, that same position. Really try to search. Your trouble areas will tend to change over time. So just be sensitive to that and pay attention to what your body needs today. And that's going to be different for everyone. Be different depending on your own activity level, your injury history, your own specific anatomy. The only person who's going to know exactly what you need today is you. And once you've found that spot, you found that right stimulus, take your attention back to your breathing. Focus on getting nice and calm and relaxed, using your breath to help your head find calm. And just allow that calmness to spread through your whole body. Just getting as passive as you can, maintaining that nice, calming rhythm of your breath, and staying in your happy place. Let's take one more breath here. And as you let go of that breath, we'll move into some neck circles. Let's just grab a seat. Start by bringing your chin in towards your chest. Slowly dragging your chin along your chest towards your shoulder. And tilting your head back. Dragging across your body in extension towards your opposite shoulder. And then tilting it back to middle and then changing direction. This is all at your own pace. At your own level of intensity. And as we work our way through this minute, challenge yourself to work into the limits of your range and attempt to carve out new range. And we want to let pain be your guide here. We don't want to move into pain, but we do want to make the neck work a little to help create new range with stability. Let's finish off this last rep. Let go of that breath and move into the left glute. So we'll go face up on your lacrosse ball and just pan through that left glute. Look for what is tense in that area. The glutes are a big, powerful muscle, and there's a lot of different areas that can carry tension. Let the video and the image be your starting point and let your body's feedback help you find out exactly what your body needs today. And once you're there, once you found that right stimulus, settle back towards your breath, finding that pace of breath that helps you relax and find calm. Being conscious to turn off any muscle we don't need right now. We don't need anything active in your face, your mouth, your head, your neck. Just mentally hit the off switch and keep panning through your body. Any muscle that feels tense, just let it go. There's a few here we need just to hold the posture and position, but anything we don't need, just let it go. And let's take one more good quality breath here. And as you sigh out that breath, we'll switch to the right side. Panning through that right glute, looking for what needs attention on this side. And it could be identical to the other side, it could be completely different. Especially because our hips tend to rotate, they tend to have imbalances. Your tricky trouble spots may be different side to side. A lot of times they are, or they may not be. It's really specific to you and your own body. Just do your search, and once you've found that specific area that needs attention today, take your attention back to your breathing. Maintain a nice calm rhythm with your breath. Getting good quality breaths, directing that air deep into the diaphragm. And again, being as conscious as you can in finding passiveness throughout your whole body. As you work through the glutes, it can be useful to find a position you struggle with. You struggle in the bottom of your squat, pulling your knee in towards your chest with your right leg can help you work on this position in the position of restriction. And let's take one more breath here. As you sigh out that breath, we'll move into the left IT band. And anytime we work on the IT band, IT is really in quotes. Really what we're talking about is looking through that left outer quad thigh area for tension. And it might be on the IT band, it might be on the actual quadricep, might be a bit of hamstring. And if you're not an anatomy person, it sounds like we're speaking a different language. Don't worry about it, just work on the general area and feel out what needs attention in your body today. And once we're there, settle back to your breath. Focus on relaxing these target tissues, relaxing through that thigh as best you can. It can be challenging, especially if it's tight, and especially tight today. but the better we can mentally relax. Just imagine that tissue just softening and working its way along the surface of that lacrosse ball, the more benefit we get. Mentally staying nice and relaxed. Again, turning off any muscle we don't need. Let's take one more good quality breath here. We'll sigh out that breath and switch into the right side. So pan through that right IT band area, the right outer thigh. And this area extends all the way up for the top of your hip, all the way down below your knee. And anything along that line is fair game here. And again, your trouble spots are going to be unique to you. So let the video and the images be your starting point. And let your body's feedback tell you what exactly your body needs today. And once you're there, settle back into your breath. Concentrate on finding that rhythm of breath that helps you find calm. If you find counting the duration of your breath helpful, feel free to do that. If you find counting your breath adds anxiety or takes away from the experience, don't bother. It's optional, it's there for you, but it's not necessary. Mentally living in your happy place. Concentrate on letting go of any stress and just enjoying the moment. Let's take one more good quality breath here. And as you sigh out that breath, we'll move into some lumbar traction. So we'll be demoing our lumbar traction off an edge of a plyo box. You can use a couch if you have it handy. You can use the corner of a countertop. You can use a chair, whatever you have handy. You can hang from a pull-up bar. There's lots of different options. Whatever version we're doing, the goal is to get a really subtle separation between your upper and lower half to create a little bit of space in that lower spine and allow us for better movement. And there should be zero pain with this. And whatever version you're doing, use a bit of control. If you're getting pain, just ease off on that pressure release. Find a level of pressure release that gives you the benefit that we're looking for. And you may not feel much here at all. What we're looking for is just that little bit of breathing room in that lower back. Let's take one more breath here. As you exhale, move into a left side dragon stretch. So let's start in an extended lunge with that left leg forward. Chest up, targeting that hip flexor and quad area. And find the level of stretch that feels right for today. As we work our way through this minute, focus on getting passive, letting the hips sink further forward and down into whatever pain-free range of motion you have. Again, turning off any muscle we don't need, getting as passive as you can. And in 10 seconds, we'll slowly get active by attempting to reverse the stretch and pull the hips back and up. And let's go ahead, starting with nice easy tension. Squeezing through that hip flexor towards first the stretch and the quad. Ramping up tension as we go. At least squeezing here for the end. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeeze through the glute. Push those hips further forward and down. Slowly ramping up tension as we go. Big tension here to finish up. 3, 2, 1. Let's let go of that breath. Get nice and passive. Fall back into your pain-free range of motion. Letting go of any tension around those hips. Staying nice and chill mentally. Let's take one more breath here. And as you sigh out that breath, we'll switch sides. Step that right leg through in that extended lunge. Just gradually letting those hips sink further forward and down by relaxing. No force, just imagine turning muscles off one at a time to target that hip flexor and quad area. Mentally living in your happy place. Again, turning off any muscle we don't need. There are some muscles we need, obviously, to hold the position. Just mentally scan through your body, and any muscle you have on, just turn the off switch. Nice and passive. And in a few seconds, we'll gently get active by attempting to reverse the stretch, pull the hips up and back. And let's go ahead. Starting nice and easy. Flexing through that hip flexor. Ramping up tension as we go. Really squeezing with some big force here to finish up. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeeze through the glutes, trying to actively push the hips further forward and down. Ramping up tension as we go. Really squeezing here for these last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Let's fall back into your passive dragon. At this point, if you're finding depth into the stretch, it's by relaxing, not by force. And again, getting as passive as we can through the whole body. Turning off those muscles in your face, in your feet, in your head, in your neck. Take one more breath here. As you sigh out that breath, we'll move into some tippy planes. So we're going to balance on that left leg. And if you've been working on a cushioned mat, we suggest moving on to something a little more solid, bare floor ideally. And just work yourself into a hinge position, balancing on that left leg. And you're just going to slowly open and close your hips. Turning up like an airplane making a turn, and then turning the opposite way. And we're challenging the balance here. We're challenging a little bit of that hip stability. As we work our way through this minute, challenge yourself to come a little further into your end range, really working through that glute. Let's really squeeze through this last rep here. As you exhale, we'll switch sides. So balancing on the right foot, bent over at the hips, and just rotating your torso using your glutes, your outer glutes. Nice and slow and controlled here. This is not something we want to do quickly. Try to control every position. And each rep, try to rotate a little further into your end range. In every rep, challenging yourself to work a little harder. Keeping your core engaged will help with your balance here. Really making yourself work through this last 10 seconds. Still trying to breathe through that diaphragm. Let's finish off with this last rep with good force. And we'll come back to both feet. Let's take one more breath. And with that, we'll call it a day. Thanks for joining us here for some 5-pillar mobility. Hope your hips and neck are feeling great. Hope you enjoyed the session. If you're liking the program, please do subscribe to the channel and like the video. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.